right, so do you remember this?
This is going to be a disaster for our economy. These other countries, many of whom are our closest allies, are going to retaliate against us.
The economy is flailing. Trump tariffs are driving up the prices of everyday goods.
The average family will pay more than $4,000 a year with Trump's tariffs.
The economy is collapsing. Trump tariffs are raising costs on hardworking American taxpayers.
Tariffmaggedon never came, but the money sure did. According to Politico, tariffs have brought in more than $124 billion in revenue, and the White House expects the United States to see a total of $300 billion. U.S. stocks have also extended their record run on trade optimism, all while inflation cools under Trump. And now Democrats are spreading conspiracy theories after Tariffmaggedon didn't work out.
Most of the economic indices they point to are on the upswing, and yet you sound so glum. Why?
What they're reporting are just numbers, and we don't know how much accuracy it is. Maybe there's a reason why he's also been on the attack against Jay Powell. I think they make up numbers. I have no trust in this president or the administration because what they say is counter to what we're doing in government.
The DNC even tried pinning the failures of Bidenomics on Trump by posting this since-deleted social media post showing high grocery store prices under Biden. And the American people are seeing through all of this. The latest Wall Street Journal poll shows more voters now have a positive view on the economy. And Lisa, I'll start with you because, you know, it doesn't matter what administration is in power. When it comes to the economy, for average Americans out there, it's not about the data, it's not about the polls or the numbers, it's about how they feel at home. And right now, we're seeing that they feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the Wall Street Journal found that 47% of Americans rated the economy as excellent or good. This is the highest rating they've seen since 2021. So people are starting to feel better about the economy. But, you know, looking at all this, it's almost as if the media and Democrats wanted to tank the economy with the way that they handled Liberation Day. And I give Secretary Scott Bessent a lot of credit for sort of calming the public, calming the markets as well. I remember he did an interview back in June 1st, in his response to, you know, all the fears about inflation, he said, well, why don't we stop trying to say this could happen, wait and see what does happen? Basically saying, why are we pushing fear before we know what happens? And I think the Trump administration, President Trump was smart in all of this to start this like competitive bidding process. Because remember what he said? He said, look, first to table, you're going to get the best deal. And then so now we're kind of seeing that come to fruition with more and more deals coming to the table, people wanting to be first to the market or first to the table, wanting to get the great deals. And then the last thing I'll add regarding the DNC post, the Democrat National Committee, what we didn't show was the Trump administration's rapid response team's response. And they took off a huge chunk of the graph where it started going like this with the increase of prices and said, these are the Biden years. So it was a self-owned by the Democrat National Committee because essentially what they were admitting is that prices were low under President Trump's first administration. Then Joe Biden takes office, it goes like this, and then stabilizes under the Trump administration. So it ended up being a self-own on their part.
You know, Jason, and then also during the Biden years, we had all that messaging while inflation was on the rise, the grocery store prices were going up. Meantime, they're telling us inflation is transitory and it's not as bad as you actually think it is. And now it's like in the reverse, they're like, it's actually so terrible.
Well, look, you have the big, beautiful bill. You have deals with Japan and the EU. Hundreds of billions of dollars of investment into the United States. And one thing we didn't talk about are the export availability now of being able to take U.S.-made goods and get into those markets that had previously been shut off or tariffs so high it was impenetrable. That is what is causing so much excitement from manufacturers, manufacturers right here in the U.S.
Yeah, and Guy, you know, we see some of the numbers that I mentioned right up there at the top, and it's all very optimistic and positive looking. There are Americans who have been watching this trade negotiations, and they've been a little bit nervous throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason that we haven't seen the prices increase the way a lot of people expected is because, frankly, a lot of the giant tariffs were paused. Right. So if the theory was we're going to just shock and awe everyone on Liberation Day, come to the table or else type situation, but we don't intend these things to actually happen. We want to bring people to the table and then get relatively good deals. we're seeing the pieces of that come together. But I think if you had implemented all of that all at once, we might be talking about a very different status quo at the moment, and the American people might not be as pleased as we're seeing in some of the polling right now.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of relief out there when they saw that deal come together today.
EU's a big one.
Yeah, the EU one is huge.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.